Hello, and welcome to part 2 of my PlayStation 4 game collection video series thing. There were some audio issues in the first video, which it's what I get for not double checking my videos before I upload them. And by the time it was even brought to my attention, 30 people had already watched the video, so it is what it is. It happened. However, that will not be happening this time. I will assure you of that. So we can just jump right in with this, and let's see. Ghost of Tsushima. So, it's a samurai game. It's kind of in the Dark Souls light style. It's really good, and I need to finish it. I'm about like 20 hours in. I just need to buckle down and finish the game. There's a couple in this stack that will also have the same situation going on with them, but we'll get to those in a bit. The only issue that I have with this game, besides the fact that I don't care about samurai at all, is it doesn't have a lock on, which almost every Dark Souls style game does, and it kind of annoys me, but it does make you have to treat combat a little differently. It's got the normal open world nonsense of there's tons of side things you can do. There's tons of there's like bases that have been taken over, and then you can retake them, and then they become establishments, and then you can go there and buy things and stuff, such like that. Or you can just freely explore and stuff like that. It's a lot of fun. So yeah, Ghost of Tsushima. Next up on the list is a game that I played for a little while, thought it looked amazing, and it's just really freaking hard, so I haven't made it more than a couple hours in. God of War. So historically, I don't care about God of War. The PlayStation 2 games, and then there was a PS3 one, but most notably the PlayStation 2 ones. I had friends who really liked them, and I would watch them play them, and I'd see like the crazy boss fights, and like, oh, that looks cool. But I don't like hack and slash games. I never have. I was never a Devil May Cry person. The closest I ever got was the Metal Gear game, Revengeance. Because it's over the top and ridiculous, I kind of liked it. But even that, I only made it 5 or 6 hours into. So yeah, for years, all the God of War games, I was like, I don't care. I'll watch people do some of the boss fights and stuff like that, and like the cutscenes, because it's over the top and it's nonsense. But this one, because once again, it's kind of in the now all over the place Dark Souls style of things, I was a bit more into it. But oof, it is relentless sometimes, and sometimes I just don't want to play games like that. Like, as I said in my last video, I did my Dark Souls 3 time. I don't want to do it all the time. Like, I'd rather just give me Rocket League, I'll play that. And while that's frustrating in its own way, it's not the same thing. So yeah, it is fun, and maybe one day I'll go back to it, but oof, difficult stuff. If you like difficult games, play it. It'll be a good time. Here we go. Golf Club 2. Went blurry there for a sec. I played a bit of Golf Club 1 on Steam, thought it was okay, and then when Golf Club 2 came out, there really weren't any other golf games that like were out, and I actually like playing golf. It harkens back to, I used to play the Lynx series, which is a PC exclusive series, with my dad for many, many years, and we had a really good time. And I get super nostalgic thinking about it, and so I just like playing golf games. And so I wanted something that was good. Golf Club 2 is not it. As I said in the last video, Everybody's Golf, very good. Mario Golf, it's a little more basic, but it's still good. This is convoluted, and the only thing it really has going for it is, as long as I'm not mistaken, I believe it has a course creator, which is cool. But when the actual like golf mechanics of the game don't feel that great, that's kind of useless. So yeah, every time I try every once in a while to go back to this and play it, and it just there's something missing, and it probably does come down to the mechanics. We've got ooh, so a game series I really like, but I've never actually played this particular game. Gran Turismo Sport. I actually really like racing simulation games. I was a big Forza fan, and I played a lot of Forza 2 and Forza 3. Didn't really touch the other ones as much. I really liked Gran Turismo 2 on the PS1, and I played a little bit of Gran Turismo 1. 2 was the first one I had, so going back and playing 1 was kind of pointless. I loved the licensing stuff where you had to, if you wanted to compete in races, you had to do actual like license tests. That was really cool. And I always liked that Gran Turismo wasn't super arcadey. It was pretty true to life. The cars you can get are real cars, and as the games progressed, they got more and more ridiculous looking. The trailers I've seen for the PS5 version of Gran Turismo coming out look insane. They look like real cars now. I don't know how much more you can do. It's crazy. But yeah, so I should have played this, but at the same time I had this other game that we'll get to called Wreckfest, and while it's not as realistic, it's a lot of fun, so that was kind of feeding my racing craving, and this just kind of fell by the wayside. I bought it because historically I've liked Gran Turismo, and I don't know, I just didn't get around to it. Once again, maybe something I'll pick up one day, or probably not, because by the time I do finally get a PS5, that Gran Turismo game will be out, and maybe I'll just play that one. So who knows? This was a bit of a misfire. Harvest Moon, I can't even see what the name title is. Light of Hope. So I had just gotten done playing Stardew Valley for 100 or so hours. It was a bit of a personal thing. My mother had passed away, so to kind of cope with it, on top of like the emotional coping, I just kind of needed something to occupy my time, and Stardew Valley was the thing that did it. I just farmed for hours every day when I wasn't at work, and really, like, it was months and months of me doing it. And even without that, I loved the game. Like, I had a great time playing that game. And then I remember Harvest Moon from years back. I had played one of the Super Nintendo versions, and I also had one on I think it was Game Boy Advance. And I liked them. They were fine, and they kind of were a main inspiration for what Stardew Valley became. So, me seeing a new Harvest Moon game for a reasonable price at GameStop, I was like, oh, I'll give that a shot. It's not that fun. It seems like it's more catered to like a younger audience, and it doesn't have enough there for me. So I played it for an hour or two, and I was like, I'd rather be playing Stardew Valley, or I want to try the gothed up version on Steam called, actually it's on most systems now, Graveyard Keeper. I want to give that a shot. But yeah, Harvest Moon wasn't really there for me. This was a game that excuse me. This was a game that some friends of mine asked me to get, and I bought it just out of them telling me to get it because we would all play it. Helldivers. I don't really like shoot 'em ups, and I don't really like top-down shooters. I stopped caring about that after Sega Genesis. Like, I played all the or not all of them, but I played a bunch of them on the regular Nintendo, and then there's a lot of them on the Sega Genesis that I played. And by the time like the PS1 and PS2 and all the other newer consoles came out, I just didn't want to do it anymore. And I had a bunch of friends who are into that, and then they suggested I play this with them. I played maybe 4 levels with them and felt nothing. And I was like, I don't want to keep playing this. So, if you want, graphically it looks good for what it is, and it's not fun. It's just not something I enjoy playing. But yeah, so if you want a top-down shooter, try Helldivers. This game, I had no real strong hopes for, and kind of became one of my favorite things that I played on the PS4. Horizon Zero Dawn, and I cannot wait for the next one. So I remember seeing trailers for it, and I kept looking at it, and I was like, wow, that looks really good. But I do not know how much I care to be fighting robot dinosaurs with a bow and arrow. Like, how can that be fun? Turns out, I am wrong, and it's a lot of fun. Horizon Zero Dawn was excellent. And the story's actually really good, too. Like, if you see it out, like, it takes a little bit to really get into it. And there is a lot to do in the game, because, once again, it's another big open-world game. Like, it's really engaging, and I was really invested by the time the game finished. And I still need to finish the DLC. I started playing the DLC, but I had just been continuously playing the regular game for months, and I finally beat it, and then I started the DLC, and I was like, I don't really want to do this again right now, and I just kind of put it aside, and I haven't gone back to it. But really, really good. The controls are so fluid. Everything feels great. Everything looks awesome. If you want to just go out and be a badass and just hunt stuff down, you can do that. If you're a super stealthy gamer, like you really like Metal Gear Solid, and you want to be stealthy with these things, you can do that. There's a lot of strategy involved if you want to implement it, but if you just want to go in guns a-blazing, you can do that most of the time. The normal fights are great. The boss fights are crazy. Like, it just keeps getting more and more ridiculous as the game goes on. And the areas, the background, everything's great looking. And yeah, just play Horizon Zero Dawn. And I'm forgetting the name of whatever the new one is. Something Eastward? It's something East, I'm pretty sure. But yeah, I want that to come out. And I'm so happy that it's coming out on the PS4 as well as the PS5. So that means I can hold off getting a PS5 even longer. Alright, what else we got here? So this one I will go back to, because it's one of the only games I think that is like this on the PS4. There's a lot of games historically that are PC games that are this style, but not so many console games. Lockz Quest. So it's a... Stop blurring, camera. Blech. It's a tower defense style game, which is, as I said, a big PC thing, but I wasn't expecting to find one on the PS4, and I found it for relatively cheap at GameStop once again. And yeah, it was a lot of fun. And the story's whatever. I don't care about the story. I like being strategic and doing that sort of stuff. The whole tower defense thing. But the only thing I didn't like about the game is the continue system is a bit unforgiving. I recall losing one particular scenario, or one particular battle, and then being sent back 3 battles. And I was like, I have to do those 2 things that I did perfectly fine before that took like 30 minutes each to do again. Okay. So I did that, and then I made it through, and then I did a couple more, and then I got beaten again, and then I had to go back again to do some other stuff. And I was just like, I can't do this right now. But aside from that one complaint, the game is good, and if you are not stupid like I am as far as how to properly do tower defenses well, you'll have a great time. But yeah, I need to just get good, essentially. Uh, so this is, I think all the more recent ones I just digitally bought. I know I didn't buy the last one because everyone said it was jank as hell. But Madden 18 with Tom Brady on the cover. And I believe this was this was the first Madden game, as I had mentioned when I was talking about FIFA, that had the story mode. It was called Long Shot. And I remember seeing all the stuff about, oh, there's a story mode in Madden now, and I was like, I don't care about that. Once again, wrong. I got super invested in that, and I loved it. And I'm one of the weird Madden players who I don't so much play the actual games, and I don't so much like to play online, usually because I get my ass kicked. But I like doing the whole rotisserie baseball style thing where I just manage things. I like doing that. I've always been fascinated by being able to do that in games, which is why I love Out of the Park Baseball on Steam so much. It's awesome. I don't even give a shit about baseball. But so yeah, that's typically what I do in Madden, and this game's completely serviceable. Like, I like Madden, and I'll get the next one when it comes out. And the only reason I didn't get 20, I have 19 and I have 20. They're both on. I got them digitally. One of them might have been free. I can't remember, but I just didn't get 21 because like people like bash that game badly, and that's usually, even for Madden, like, it was bad. Like, a lot of people always complain that, oh, it's just the same game, but it's just some roster changes and stuff like that. This was different, and I was like, I don't feel like paying $60 for something that's going to be broken. Like, what is it, a Bethesda game? Ha! I'm just kidding, I love Fallout and Elder Scrolls. Anyways, so yeah, Madden. This game was a big surprise, kind of came out of nowhere, and was a lot of fun. And another game that I'm 10 or so hours in, and I just need to finish. Can you zoom in on that? There we go. Maneater. I don't know why the camera's being weird. But, yeah, Maneater. You're a shark. And it's kind of got a similar feel to it as, like... This is a bad comparison, actually. But Goat Simulator... Except if Goat Simulator wasn't almost unplayable. Like, the controls actually feel pretty good, but it's got that over-the-top, nonsensical, I'm a shark and I'm going to pull people off of boats and drag them into the water and then just eat them. And then get chased by reality TV shark hunters. And, but yeah, it's just nonsense. And I love it. It's super fun. It's super arcadey, but it has like an upgrade system. And I haven't gotten far enough. I've seen what you can do. Like, you get to evolve your shark in certain ways as you level up, and you can go crazy with it. And I haven't quite gotten there yet. But when I do, it's based on everything I've seen. Like, you can get crazy, like skull enhancements and stuff like that, and armor. It's nonsense. Love it. Give me nonsense. But yeah, get Maneater. I don't even think it's that expensive. Another series I love and I'm super nostalgic for, even though if I tried to play those games for the first time now, I would get my ass kicked. In fact, most of them I can't even beat now, even though I beat them as a kid. Mega Man 11. Blar. There we go. It looked kind of straightened out. Historically, I have beaten Mega Man 1 through 4 on the Nintendo. I beat Mega Man Legends 1 and 2, and I've beaten all the stage bosses for Mega Man 5, X, and 10, maybe? But, and including this game, 11. However, when it comes to, I think it's still Wily. I could be wrong. but I'm going to bet that it is still Dr. Wily who you fight at the end. But once you get to those stages, like the some of the normal stages themselves were actually really hard. But when you get to the Wily stages, I think I made it to the third one and I just couldn't do it. Like I was not good enough. like it teaches you a whole bunch of new things. I believe this is the game that has the gear system. Yes. Where you can slow down and speed up time, and you need to start using that a lot in the Wily stages, and I never really got that good at it. So I just kind of hit a wall in like the third Wily area, and I just couldn't beat it. It also comes with a bunch of bonus stuff if you're one of those crazy completionist people who feels games aren't hard enough for you, where you I think there's a situation where you have to fight multiple bosses at the same time, and I've watched people do it, and it's crazy, and was something I'm not capable of doing. I have a hard enough time beating the bosses normally. I can't beat two of them, especially when they have all their super power-ups as you would expect. But yeah, Mega Man, great series. Love it. I can see that there's some games in here that I've never played before. So let's just get those out of the way. Mirror's Edge Catalyst. Another game I found reasonably cheap. I remember I think it was on the Wii, where you had a pad and you ran on it, and it's basically a parkour game. I got this because it looked really cool, and I've never played it, so I could not tell you anything about it. Looks cool though. One day, maybe. This game I just bought because baseball, and it wasn't expensive. It says on here $17.99. Maybe that is a little too much. I'm at the same time where I just said that I like doing the simulation style of games. I also like doing the create a player games in create a player mode in sports games, where you basically rise up the ranks and basically get yourself in baseball. You'd be getting drafted, going through the minor leagues, getting promoted, blah blah blah, and then you finally get to the major leagues, then you career, whatever, blah blah blah, all that sort of stuff. This game, whoa boy, with that, because it's like what if we did a baseball game where you did that, but it was like real? So it's not like an arcade style sim where it's like, oh, you got drafted, you're gonna play 10 15 games in the minor leagues, and then maybe or like single A, and then you'll move up to double A, and then you'll move up to triple A, and then maybe you'll go to the majors, and then maybe you'll be an all-star, all that sort of stuff. No, I played like 50 or 60 games, never even an inkling of promotion. They're like, how about you play as a real baseball player and you have a career? I'm like, oof, I don't have it in me to do this. So yeah, and I've seen other not so much complaints, but people talking about that sort of thing. And it's cool in concept, but I mean, I don't want to play 700 baseball games in the minor leagues before I can even get to the major leagues. I don't want to do it. It's cool, but nah, I'm good. A game I don't like. So I have a friend named James who's actually been on this channel before. He's been in a bunch of the Let's Play series from 5 or 6 years ago. He told me to get this. And fuck you, James. Monster Hunter World. I know a lot of people like this series. I don't. Fighting giant monsters is cool, as evidenced by the fact that I like Dark Souls. And I like Horizon Zero Dawn. Stuff like that. There's something lost in Monster Hunter that I don't like. The hit detection feels weird. I don't care for the story at all. The characters are weird. And I don't relate. Relate's weird, but it just doesn't do anything for me. And all the boss fights I tried to do, it was like a stage one, or what's the word for stage one, stage two, stage three, forms. But it's like you fight him for a little while, and then he runs away, and then you gotta go chase him, blah blah blah, and then you fight him for a little longer, and then he brings in some more guys, and maybe he'll go across another big enemy, and you'll have to fight him too, and then he runs away again, and then you fight him for the third time, and then you can defeat him, and meh. Maybe if I had more people to play with online, I would have felt differently. But even with that, the hit detection was annoying me. So I don't like Monster Hunter. If it's your thing, that's cool. I played this game very little. Historically, I do like these games, but I've never been much of a fighting game person. Wait, there we go. Mortal Kombat XL. I'm gonna hold it right there from now on. That works. I'll be honest, I don't remember that much about this game. I beat it. I beat one of the, when you go through the stages, the tower thing. I beat one of those once, and that was enough for me. And I remember this was the first time. I know they've been doing it for a few games now, but this was the first Mortal Kombat game that I personally played that had the X-ray kill stuff, and I thought that was super cool. But yeah, it's Mortal Kombat. I liked and beat Mortal Kombat 1, 2, and 3 on the Genesis forever ago. And but I've never been big on fighting games. Mortal Kombat, because it's super gory and bloody, I am drawn to that slightly more, but that's about it. It's Mortal Kombat. You know what you're getting. And now you can fight people online and lose. This was a disappointment. Wait, you were working before? Oh my god. Mutant Football League, not to be confused with Mutant League Football that was on like the Sega Genesis and Super Nintendo. And then there was Mutant League Hockey, which even less people had. I loved that game back in the day. It was great. You bribe the ref and then put a bomb in the ball and throw it at people, and they blew up. And then there was fields that had holes in them, and you float off into space and kill people on the other team. And then all of a sudden it'd be like a 7-on-3 football game, and it was great. Good time. But this, while it tries, it kind of fails, and it also is it's also harder than it should be. The AI is relentless. I just stopped. I wasn't having fun. I was like, this kind of looks cool, but regardless of what difficulty I put it on, it's either baby and I can win 80-0, or the next difficulty up is I'm getting trounced and I can't do anything. So it's like, what? That's not fun. So I tried for a little while and just it wasn't working for me. So Mutant Football League, meh. I have two of these. Oh my god, camera, stop. Jesus. I'm turning that autofocus thing off. NBA 2K, I got 16 and I got 19. I think I also have one downloaded digitally. It's the same thing. It's basketball. Why is shooting so hard in NBA 2K? I don't understand. It's shooting a basketball. It's shooting free throws. What the fuck? It shouldn't. Is it 2 buttons, 3 button system to shoot free throws? And it's always obnoxious. Why are you making basketball hard? That's why I like NBA Jam and Hang Time and those types of games. I like the arcadey style, or NES and Sega Genesis style NBA games. I like those. It's another thing where I would occasionally do it for the whole simulation experience, and I also tried doing it for a little while with the create a player thing and trying to rise up through the ranks, but I constantly got yelled at. It's like, you're asking for the ball too much. I was open. Give me the ball. Anyways, yeah, NBA 2K. It's basketball. All right, we got 3 more here, and good, I've played none of them. All right, so Need for Speed Rivals. I bought it because it's the newest game in the series that I believe since what were the Hot Pursuit was the older games on the PS1, I believe, where you could be a cop or get chased by the cops. And I always thought that was super fascinating, especially seeing as you could put roadblocks and spike strips and stuff up. And this was that, except just to the nth degree. It just looks crazy. I just haven't gotten around to playing it. It was another thing that got sidetracked. So I didn't pay that much to get it, but I was sidetracked by the fact that I was playing Wreckfest, and that kind of took precedent in my racing needs. So maybe one day. But yeah, the idea is great. So as long as it's fluid and it's a Need for Speed game, those are historically good. So I trust it. NHL 19. This I did actually play very briefly. Hockey I don't care too much about overall. We used to have a hockey team here in Connecticut called the Hartford Whalers. They were never particularly great, and then they moved to Carolina and won a Stanley Cup within like the first 3 years of them moving. Thanks. So now we don't have any professional sports teams in Connecticut unless you count we might have a WNBA team and maybe a soccer team. Not 100%. Don't quote me on that. But anyways, hockey, it's all right. It's not as fun as like there's this pixely hockey game that came out a few years ago. It's on the Switch and it's on Steam. It's called Super Blood Hockey. That game is awesome. Play that. It's like an homage to NES hockey games like Blades of Steel and Ice Hockey, except it's super bloody for absolutely no reason. There's like drug use and like bribery, and it's crazy. I love it. It's great. I beat that game. It was fun. And the actual NHL game, it's whatever. It's hockey and it's an EA game. And the simulation stuff is there, but I cared less because it was hockey. I just got it because it was cheap. Yeah, so this is a game I have a friend of mine who played for a while and liked, but at the same time he couldn't really recommend it. And it's a game that should have had a stronger emphasis on multiplayer, but somehow didn't because it's built for it, but whatever. No Man's Sky, I haven't played it. I kind of have an idea of what it is. It's like space well, not Minecraft, closer to like what's the water game where you're trapped on a planet? I'm forgetting. Markiplier played it a bunch. Subterranean, something like that. Subnautica. It apparently is like that, except not underwater and in space, and you go to a variety of different planets. But I've just never. Every time I look at the games I want to play, I look at it and I go, not today. And it's been not today since I bought it. So, don't know. But anyways, that's it for this stack. There will be one more video coming in the PlayStation 4 series, and then maybe I'll move on to a different console or series of consoles, depending on how many games I have for the system. I think I have 5 physical Switch games, and having one video for that's kind of stupid. So maybe I'll combine that with one of the other ones. But yeah, so thank you for watching, and leave a comment, and that's all I got. Bye!